Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be revealing my kitchen in my apartment and I'm very excited. If you haven't yet subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you're notified when I post a video. I will be posting every single Sunday now. These are all of my other socials if you're interested in following along on my journey on there. I don't want to waste any time, so let's get right into the video. Just a quick disclaimer before I begin this video. My most commonly asked question that I get is how I'm able to do any of this in my apartment, and I promise you all, time and time again, I would not do something that I'm not allowed to do. When it comes to rentals, there are obviously some that don't allow you to paint or nail on the wall, but there are some that do, and you just have to ask when you're searching around and see what you're allowed to do with that space. For me, I am allowed to paint in my apartment, and I'm also allowed to make any holes in the wall so long as I fill it up, paint over it, etc. when I leave. And for those saying that this is way too much to be doing to an apartment, that is a personal opinion. This is also my job to transform spaces, so this is not a waste for me by any means. All that I can hope is that somebody watching this video sees just even one of the DIYs that I did in my kitchen and gets inspired to make their space a little bit more homey. So I want to start off by just giving a recap of every single DIY project that I've done in this kitchen, just so that if you're looking for some inspiration for your own space, you know exactly what I did. The first project that I did was actually before I moved into the apartment. I got these bar stools off of Facebook Marketplace, and I spray painted them with a yellow color and then also with a protective coating. This just made it so that they were a little bit more funky, a little bit more my style, and they have held up great since then. We use them all the time, and I always get questions if they're comfortable or not, and they are. I wouldn't lie about that. Some chairs with that material aren't, but these ones are actually ergonomic, so they're great, but I don't know the brand. They're from Facebook Marketplace. The next thing that I did was just switching out the hardware, and this is a great, easy way to spice up your space if you live in a rental. You can get really inexpensive hardware off of Amazon in bulk, and then you can actually take that hardware with you when you move into a new space, so you're not losing any money through this. All that I did was just removed the hardware that's already in there, and I put it in a little plastic baggie so that I don't lose it, so when I move out, I can switch it back to what they originally had. It was a really easy way to make the kitchen feel a whole lot different, and I definitely had to get rid of the handles that they had. It reminded me of elementary school. The next thing that I did was I actually built a renter-friendly extension of the countertop. So how I did this was I actually modeled out the design that I wanted with different wood pieces, and what they do is they wrap around the existing little mini countertop area, and then it secures itself underneath the ledge. And we've been using this ever since I did it. It works amazing. It holds up really great. It's really strong, and it gives us just a little bit of added counter space, and I'm really happy with it. It was a really easy project as well. All you have to do is cut the wood to the sizes that you need. You can prep it with a wood conditioner, stain it, seal it, and then you can connect it all with screws. The next thing that I did to the kitchen was actually a part of my loft renovation, and that was to put a faux brick wall all along the side of the wall. So all we did for this project was we got faux brick panels for $30 each from Home Depot, and we had them cut them down for us so that we could fit them into our car. And then we measured out the different space that was on the wall. We cut the different shapes that we needed, and then when we went to put them on the wall itself, we actually used some blue tape behind the cracks. That way we could fill the cracks with some caulking, and it would look a whole lot more seamless. Now, I'm allowed to nail and paint in my apartment, but if you aren't allowed to do that in your apartment, you could definitely cut the panels down to a smaller size. Make sure that they are a safe size for whatever mounting solution you use, but you could definitely use command strips or mounting tape for this. You just want to make sure that the panels are not too heavy and that they'll fall. Once all of the panels were installed, I just painted over it to cover up the caulking and also to give it a more distressed look. The next thing that I did to my kitchen was paint a mural on the wall, and I knew that I wanted a really bold pattern on this wall because it was so boring, and I wanted to base the entire kitchen off of this wall. So since I have so much color in my apartment already, I decided to opt for a black and white look, and I painted on a really fun black pattern. This pattern has been so much fun to take photos in front of, and also just for daily inspiration. If you really liked the mural that I made and you're not able to paint in your apartment, a really great alternative would be to use a peel and stick wallpaper that's a solid color, and you can literally just cut out the shapes that you want and just stick it to your wall, and it would look amazing. It would look the exact same. The next thing that I did was I added a peel and stick tile on top of the existing flooring. that flooring was not matching the vibe that I was going for. It clashed with the wall so bad. I typically go for a bold pattern when you're doing a small space like this, but because I had the bold pattern on the wall, I actually opted out for a wood look tile. I just didn't want to distract from the wall too much. This was a great alternative. I got these peel and stick tiles off of Amazon. I don't recommend them for a large scale space just because they don't have any sort of deals for cost efficiency, but it was really great for me with this really small kitchen. What's awesome about these tiles is that they're sticky enough to stay in place, but they're also really easy to remove if you mess up when you're applying them or just for when you move out. And they don't add any damage to the floor. If anything, it's protecting the floor from any damage that you would have given it. I also added a little $4 rug from Walmart, which is a steal, on top of it that had the same exact color as the wall base and black and white in it. The next thing that I did was actually pantry organization. So I had a lot of pots and pans and I wanted to keep them in the pantry just because the pantry is so big and that's a great storage space for our pots and pans. I was able to make these panels out of wood. I just cut them, prepped them with a wood conditioner, stained them and sealed them. If you're doing this project on your own, you could also paint them if you prefer, or you could use a patterned paper. There's endless possibilities. Basically, I just took a big rectangle and a skinny rectangle and I drilled them together in a T shape. And this allowed me to put a command strip on the back of this skinny rectangle so that I could stick it to the wall really easily and move it around if I ever see fit. I also put a little piece of plywood underneath just to make sure that nothing would fall through the cracks. I really love how this little DIY turned out because it has really organized our pots and pans. And the last DIY that I did was adding a backsplash. I thought that black tiles would do a really great job of making the walls seem farther away and adding a lot more contrast in the space. I got these tiles off of Amazon and they were really easy to apply, really easy to cut as well, and it was actually kind of satisfying and fun to do. They look really great as well, but I probably wouldn't recommend them, and the reason for this is because they're really not sticky enough to stay on the wall. We had to add a lot of extra mounting tape and stuff to make them just stay in place, but either way, we got it up there. It looks great and I'm really happy with the way the whole kitchen turned out. So without further ado, let's head into the reveal of the kitchen. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you were able to get inspired by some of the DIYs that you saw. If you try any of these DIYs, I would love if you would tag me in it. I love seeing it. It literally makes my day. These are my socials if you want to tag me in any of your posts. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I will see you guys all next Sunday for a brand new video. Bye guys.